Hello, this is Cryptolyze. I hope you are well. This Tuesday, 5 December 2023. We meet today to talk about NEAR, the crypto of NEAR protocol. And we will also do a little explanation of Aurora and its role in NEAR because it is very important, and as usual, we are going to dissect this video into two parts. A fundamental part, we will come back to what NEAR is, to the advantage of NEAR protocol, its evolution, and then we will go to the graphs to project only in the medium long term on purchase prices, selling prices, and precisely explain this acceleration that we have already had in recent weeks, and it starts right away. As a reminder, you always have the possibility of having free access to the educational course, which is a 60-hour training worth 400 euros, which allows you to learn blockchain, crypto, investment, analysis technique, trading, everything to become profitable. Through 130 videos, 400 pages of guides, quizzes to find out where you are in your progress, and all for free. To have access to this lifelong training, simply use the platform of one of our partners. Everything is explained in the comments and descriptions. We will start by explaining what NEAR protocol is. So NEAR protocol is above all a blockchain which was intended to potentially be a zero-level blockchain. We will come back to this a little later. But it is a blockchain which aims to offer a decentralized infrastructure for working on NFTs, DAOs, and decentralized finance with a scaling solution which is rather very efficient. But they rebranded themselves because you have to understand that that was the narrative. These screens there, it was the narrative of 2021, and as a result they rebranded themselves during the bear market to form NEAR, the BOS, Blockchain Operating System, the OS for an open web. What does this mean in concrete terms that NEAR is placed on top of other blockchains to offer an interface and interoperability? So we are still in this notion of layer 0, except that at the beginning they were intended to be a basic layer 0, a bit like Cosmos Hub, and they have migrated to become something on top, offering the possibility of very easily creating decentralized applications, yes, through their own platform, to be able to directly interface the decentralized applications within a simple, accessible interface, to be able to distribute them easily. Therefore, to provide access to these decentralized applications very simply, and then to be able to access the community, etc. So what is interesting is that in fact the image and the branding that was carried out and the way in which they focused a little bit their communication and the product in fact that they want to produce, it looks a bit like to that when we see on Mantle what they have done, in which we actually connect to the wallet and we actually have access to all the applications directly inside. It's a bit like the application market that was opened up at the time by the iPhone, in which we had a phone that gave access to a multitude of other things. It's a bit the same thing here, where they are trying to be able to offer an interface to be able to have access to the sets of decentralized applications which are on the blockchains, and therefore also ultimately to interface them with each other. We see that they made Mantle, they made Polygon, they integrated Cycle into the whole of NEAR. Finally, there are quite a few things that they are doing, and is that intended to work? Well, I want to tell you quite a bit, because in this case they still continue to sign, and above all they have made a certain number of components available. We are talking about more than 12,000 Web3 components to be able to develop. In fact, what they want to become, at some point, is a tool for hyper-simplifying the development of decentralized applications. All right? For those who develop in web, they want to become the Wix, in fact, of the web, of the website. This is exactly what they want to do when we look at their communication and the different explanations and different talks they have had in recent times. We are also going to talk about Aurora, because Aurora is basically the platform which was very important, which was a bridge which made it possible to interface with all compatible EVMs, and at the same time something which made it possible to run compatible EVM code, okay? If we didn't have Aurora, in fact, we couldn't wear a smart contract directly in it. Aurora saw that at some point it was changing direction with NEAR protocol, and it was starting to launch other products alongside it, like Aurora Cloud, which mainly allows you to have an instantiation of infrastructures to be able to build decentralized applications, and above all maintain them very simply at low cost, and to be able to manage things that cannot be managed otherwise, such as, for example, the management of gas costs, the management of KYC for a decentralized blockchain. So we actually have a toolkit, an additional kit for managing your blockchain and managing the decentralized applications that are within Aurora. And this is the big interest and limit of the project which has the most to remember from NEAR. It is by far Aurora which continues its development, and which will certainly be followed. I will make a dedicated video for you, I think, on Aurora, not this week nor the following week, but certainly in the coming weeks. In any case, what is certain is that the ecosystem is moving quite a bit. And a little point on tokenomics. We are at 2 billion diluted market cap, which is already quite significant for Near protocol, but which still remains relatively low compared to what we have been able to know. And we are already on a gullet. Circulating supply which is already significant. So there is no warning, strictly speaking. We will be able to attack the graphic part with the technical analysis. We will quickly return to the history in which we had an accumulation. First phase of acceleration, retracement. Second phase of acceleration, Near had a small valuation on May-February 2021, reworked with the breakout of this period to make Wave 2 an accumulation of wick-off, bullish acceleration, which took place in 5 impulsive waves, in which we ended on an ATH which was carried out on January 17, 2022. So Near protocol still managed to outperform the market, even though we were in a market which was mainly bearish at that time to make the ATH at the time when we were in the process. Finally, after the breakout of November and December 2021 on Bitcoin, and generally all the alts. So we then had the catch-up, so obviously a big bearish breakout with the establishment of a wick-off distribution in BC, Arkansas, ST, and we had the sign of weakness here, okay? So rather classic, and we are always in sign of weakness, which is the long-term accumulation zone of wick-off, in which we find beautiful patterns. Here with the selling climax, secondary test, which is also an STB here, STB, and the spring which took place here. And we see that we have broken back bullish, with an acceleration which was relatively powerful because we consolidated above June 5th, which was precisely the SEC's announcement, the desire to, in fact, pursue many altcoins as being securities. And there we see that we have consolidated above and that we are even potentially attacking this AR here. On the other hand, we see that we still have not consolidated above an important level, which is the FTX level, because FTX also had a role at the level of Near protocol. So obviously we had a depreciation which was very strong. And when we compare Solana to Near, that's where we really see the difference between the two. That's where we see that there is a project which already has, in fact, a very substantial base of users and developers, which is Solana, and next to it we have a Near protocol which is still struggling to attract. But at the same time, which is normal, Near has arrived after Solana, and therefore obviously we did not manage to build a sufficiently large developer base. Consequently, so for me, what will be extremely important for Near will be to break the 2.8 and consolidate above this level in order to be able to restructure upwards. For me, the bullish acceleration is healthy. It shows that currently we still have a Near protocol which follows the general rally movement which is taking place around the altcoins behind BTC, so we have a very nice acceleration. But for me, it will be necessary imperatively consolidate above. From this zone and above all, go back above the FTX level. And this is where we will really have a real signal of bullish reacceleration, especially since we have a big resistance which is here, okay, which is the shutdown, in fact, of Celsius, plus the rupture of FTX. So we really have a very, very important zone which will be in the $3, $3.20, which we will have to monitor. If we have a rupture of that, I think we could have a very strong acceleration of Near protocol. Concretely, what can we set as a target for Near protocol? Already we are in a diluted market cap of 2 billion. We must consider that generally a blockchain on a new cycle. So when we look a little at the different developments, which is not in the top 10 therefore who would be an okay blockchain, but which would not have exploded as we could have had a Solana in previous cycles, we would be in the region of 50 billion for me. A great prospect already, which would suddenly exceed the ATH with potentially a large wave. 1. Large wave 2 and a large wave 3, which will be in perspective. Large wave 3, which would potentially seek a target of $168 to $33, therefore which provides a good prospect for development. On the other hand, once again, we must take into consideration that it will depend on the capacity of Near protocol to be able to surf the narratives of the next bull run, the next cycle, and to be able to attract developers and be able to offer its solution to other blockchains and simply be able to attract a complete ecosystem. If this is not done, unfortunately, it will be very likely that we will not be able to make a new ATH and that we will perhaps not even be able to retest the 20. And that is why it will actually need to monitor this type of project, whether or not they will succeed in capitalizing on the momentum of the bull run to be able to attract enough people to persist on the long term. I hope you liked this video. If so, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment. It always makes me very happy, and we'll see you tomorrow 7 for the daily, where we come back to the news crypto on BTC. and of course the technical analysis of the day.